Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the Canadian Chamber of Commerce's Technology and Impact webinar. Moving on to the second half, I would like to invite Ronald Le, the founder and CEO of Bholdus, to start with his presentation. So, Ronald, take it away.
Appreciate Ryan has invited me to come for the conference today, and appreciate Jan, Keith, Ryan's. You folks has been very inspirational today to me. So you folks speak a lot of languages that's deep into my heart. I'm a fintech and zero tech entrepreneurs for the past 20 years in running different startups. So I really appreciate and listen to every single word you folks just share. So today is once again is my great honor. So let me do an introduction of what's going on with our companies and what's our mission and vision. So basically, Bholdus is blockchain infrastructure, right? So today I'd like to talk about a little bit about its unique technologies, value proposition, and also the impacts on what's going on with this Bholdus blockchain. So as of today, we are one of the top tier blockchain infrastructure that's located in Southeast Asia. And we aim to disrupt different industries as a whole, right? Across different industries such as charity organizations, social impacts, financial industries, real estate industries, and healthcare, and etc. So, today is my honor to share a little bit about what's going on with the Bholdus blockchain in transforming the social impacts in different ways. So the first, Bholdus is, we aim to provide a greater security in terms of settling the payments. And the reason why I only want to mention one sentence, because there's a lot of, great points that I like to point out. As you know, financial industries has been pretty much broken, and there's no universal system, there's no interruptible systems across different countries due to regulations, due to the technology outdated, due to the internet revolution, right? And you see, different countries operate their own system, such as in Vietnam, there's NAPAS. In the entire world, there's a SWIFT, there's Alipay, there's different types of mobile wallets, there's different types of open banking, digital banking, blockchain banking, crypto banking, and all kinds, right? So the world is a mess. It's a mess in terms of financial system. There's no universal language. So what we're trying to do is, as a blockchain as a whole, there must be a system where it is interoperable. There must be a universal system where it's all naturally interconnected, right? And it should be a system that's that's eliminate the unnecessary middleman. Understand from the regulation standpoint, the regulation technology need to be improved, right? And then we need to redefine what is going on with the KYC, what's going on with the AML, what's going on with the CFT. Right, the system is very much, the regulations. There's no regulation technologies that help the world, right? So it's a pain. It's a pain because like for example, let's say if you're in Canada, you want to send $10 to Vietnam to help some people, who died because of COVID. COVID took away a lot of life, right? You can imagine 1,000 people has died. They become orphanage, and you just want to send, let's say $30 from Vancouver to maybe a little province in the south, right? You can, right? You got to pay a lot of unnecessary middlemen, right? You got to pay a correspondent banks. You got to pay, the middle banks. There's no automations. You got to pay a lot of fees, and this is crazy, right? And the worst has been crazy because a lot of middlemen in between. Why not we do it in a different way, right? There's certain payments, the certain payment purposes need to be redefined, right? Let's say, okay, if you do trade deals, okay, you send millions of dollars, that's fine to pay, high fee. But if you send a payment for social impact, for making the world a better place, or for financial inclusion, we should be able to send it in real time, right? It should be free, right? Because $5, $10 to you guys in Canada, or in Europe, or in any kind of developed cities, it's nothing. It's just a cup of coffee, right? But let's say if you send $10 to people who need it in, let's say, a little province in Vietnam, in Philippines, in Indonesia, right? I'm originally from Vietnam, so but I treat myself as a global citizen because I traveled around the world to almost more than 30 countries, and I value everyone the same, right? So this world needs to be borderless in different ways. Yes, agree, need to be criminal free, need to have a tight regulations in different jurisdictions, but we all need to work together to be a better place for the earth, right? So Bholdus is, we are one of them, right? We are beside Bholdus, there are several players out there trying to solve this broken piece in the financial world, right? The world need to be need to be less monopolized, need to be more transparency, right? I'm going to talk a little bit more from that in the next point. But the payment is the core, of everything. Everything in this world is money. It's going to be the internet of money, right? It's internet of value, right? And everything can turn into payment, can turn into a value. And if there is a value, there's a social impact, right? There's a great poise in terms of helping people, right? So that is what we're trying to solve, right? The second point is about quicker custom documentation. So I think I listened to Jan from KBMG, and some other folks related to the inputs and outputs, the transparency and all this, right? So with the blockchain, with the nature of the immutable record, with the nature of transparency, with the trusted data storage, we definitely can help to document the records more properly. Let's say, for example, in Vietnam this day, you can. I mean, I'm sure you heard of some scandal related to some celebrities in the country has been a big fraud in fundraise, and then they did not do the a proper fund allocation to the people in the middle, where there's a regular flood every year, right? There's a regular disaster every year. There's a storm, there's a like the tornadoes happening all year round, and especially during the winter. So and these people are very, very fragile, and they need help. And you can just imagine, there's no proper documentation. You collect $1 million from the donators, and there's no record, there's no and they just trying to use the media manipulation and try to act good in front of public. But end of the day, the people who doesn't have voice, the people who are poor or homeless, they were unfortunate. They did not get the money. They did not get the funds. And it's a huge pain in the entire country, right? And a lot of donators, they're losing trust. They're losing trust with these celebrities, with these influencers, right? And end of the day, the people who need money, who need help, get nothing. It's a pain. It's a pain, right? And I'm sure it's happened to everywhere as well. There's no transparency. There's no record. And let's say KPMG doing auditing. Let's say if we are the startup entrepreneur, do we have money to go and seek help for audition? Do we have money to go and seek help for international audits? We don't have funds, right? We only have passion. We only have love to do things. And these people are really trying to abuse their reputation, take the money away from people, and did not do a proper jobs. So this need to be solved. And hopefully we are one of them. We try to build a system where a proper input, a proper output, with this transparency in the system. There's a traceability in the system. There is the automation in the system. So every time you make a change, every time you want to spend something, every time you want to record something, it's there. Every time you want to change, there's always a record, and we can trace back what's going on, who's the victim, who's a bad actor, who's a good actor, right? So these words can become fairer. And with us, Bholdus and some other folks out there with a permissionless blockchain network, we can really do things more transparent and a fairer place for everyone to participate. And everyone feel more appreciated when they do something good for society as a whole, right? So number 3, I think I just mentioned, right? The transparency, accuracy, and traceability. Whenever everything recorded on the blockchain, when you do the donation, who do the donation and what time. And even when you donate the fund to the people who need it, people know if you can record, okay, you want to buy a house, you want to build a house for the orphans who just lost their parents due to the COVID. at least every expenses when you build a house or you build an educational program for that folks, for that little kids, must be transparent. It can be recorded, right? And if we have that, imagine, you know, all the party, all the stakeholder who involved with this supply chain can record everything on the blockchain, on either on our Bholdus blockchain or on the other blockchain. If we can do that job well, fantastic, right? And the people who donate, they have a peace of mind, right? They have a peace of mind. They know where the money going to. Okay, they know where the funds going to. Okay, it's okay for people to get paid because they help, but the system need to be transparent. So the money is responsible to be paid to every single stakeholder or supply chains or partner who involved with the entire end-to-end solution. So that is something, you know, Bholdus or some other blockchain can definitely help. Same thing, original, you know, whenever you deliver products, whenever you deliver service, you know, you can actually authenticate the originality of the products or services, right? Let's say, you know, you build a good educational program for, let's say, for Vietnamese who need help with education. They don't have a chance to go to University of Ottawa, or they don't have a chance to go to University of California to go and study. For example, if you build a good service, you know, you build a good education, you build a good program to help these people who stay in Lang Sơn, Cao Bang, or, you know, whoever in the north, you know, as long as they have the internet, they have a laptop or computer, at least they can learn from you guys, right? And you know, if you guys want to help people and you guys need to be appreciated. So all this can be put as the asset ownership, for example. It's a unique asset ownership, and you are your own unique program creator. So you got appreciated, and it can create more kinds of appreciation, more value for the people who create things, right? So that is kind of the value. And the same, and whenever you feel more appreciated, you feel fairer, and you have more motivation to create more good thing, more social good impact to the people who need it. Same thing to the products, right? You know, let's say right now, do we know, you know, what kind of material do we eat in different foods, right? So the originality of the food, or originality, let's say you create some good qualified of FDA or CE certified products to help people to help people who need the food the most, right? But you know, you mentioned, okay, this food is certified, but let's say you're just a startup entrepreneur and you don't have money to go and certify your products. What can we do? So we have to certify certain, we have to certify ourselves. How are we going to certify? At least we know what is the input material, what is output material, what is the productions gonna be, right? So if all this, we utilize a blockchain, which is the cheap technology, for example, for sure. It's just a matter of, you know, whether we want to utilize it, and at least you can create more trust. You can create the more transparency in building up, in producing your product, right? And that create a lot of confidence, because it's not everything in this world you have to go and certify all the FDA, all the CE, all the government certify. And I'm sorry, Jan, you know, not everything to go to KPMG or Ernst & Young or whoever, you know, a big firm out there to go and certify everything. We don't have money. Startup entrepreneurs, innovators don't have money to do all this in the beginning, right? So with the blockchain, we definitely can help. Smart contract is all about, you know, automation. It's all about, you know, in the past, machines, I mean, the people who have the authority to do the work, right? To do the certified work, to record everything, right? And now with the smart contract, with the machine, you can definitely automate the entire end-to-end solution, right? The stakeholder, let's say every time you want to certify something, the people need to be manually involved with the process and certify things. With the smart contract, we can definitely reduce the trust. So every transaction going through, it definitely is recorded on the blockchain, right? And it's definitely is there. And whenever it's there, let's say you want to make a loan, let's say you want to, for example, you want to borrow some. I can give you a use case. Let's say you have $1 million, or you have $100,000 in Canada, for example, and you know that you don't want, I mean, you want to help some people in Vietnam, for example, and you want to make and you know that the money need to be generated. What can you do to create fund to help people in Vietnam? If you just send $100,000 to them, I mean, to Vietnam, and then your money gone, you cannot create sustainable impact. So how are you going to create a sustainable impact? with this type of smart contract, you can actually create your own crowdfunding loans or crowdfunding package. Let's say, okay, I'm gonna put in the funds, $50,000 or $100,000 to generate a small little fund to go and help people. And whoever people who believe in you, whoever people who trust your passion and your deliverables and your KPI and your business planning and so on and so forth. The people who have like-minded like you, they will put the fund into the pool, and you can create your own series of different types of social impact charity organization. And with whatever I've been talking for the past 4 or 5 points, you can definitely generate more sustainable funding to help people who need it, right? Because you record everything. Whatever you do, you record everything. And the fund, and you can even enlarge the fund, right? By getting a lot of people coming into the place. Because right now, cryptocurrency, digital currency is a gray area. Yes, I understand the regulation because I'm coming from the financial industries, serial entrepreneur background as well. I work with different financial institutions, money service businesses, international banks. We understand how the bank operate. We understand how the system of SWIFT operate, right? With Bholdus, with some others, with this type of smart contract, we definitely can create a new type of system that's still regulated, that still follow rules, but the government, but the big corporations, right, need to work together. Let's say, a big corporation in real estate in Canada, or the healthcare, a big corporation in Canada, they want to crowd funds and help some hospital in Vietnam, for example, but they don't have a trust. The trust is a huge problem, because whenever you send a fund to Vietnam, you need to trust a party there. So how are we going to eliminate trust? We need to be able to eliminate trust, right? If we go anything, KBMG is a trusted organization, but KBMG is big. They cannot handle all sort of the businesses in the world, right? What about the mid-size volume? What about the mid-size charity fund, small size charity fund? Who are they? I mean, who gonna help these people to go and help a hospital in Vietnam, to build hospital, to build school in Vietnam, right? KBMG is too expensive for that. What is the system to help all this, to create the transparency, to reduce trust, and even to make the trust become trustless? It's tough, but we can do that. As long as everything is recorded, everything is transparent, I think we can do an amazing job. And I know a lot of organization in the world has been working on this. World Bank has been working on this, right? And some other folks. And with us today, right, we are still a startup, but we have a fast growing ecosystem, right? I think our valuation today is about $500 million US dollar in the coin market cap, right? It's still nothing, because the market is still very early, and the entire crypto world is still very early, and we are not early because we're in the business for some time. And I hope that through this webinar, I hope we can put some some hand, some love, and some passion to do something together for Vietnam and for the emerging economies. Not only Vietnam. I'm talking about Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Myanmar. Myanmar is in the deep disaster right now. Laos, Cambodia, in Southeast Asia, right? And in Africa, there's a Kenya, there's a Nigeria, right? In Turkey, there's a lot of emerging countries, right? So Bholdus has a mission to change the world, to become a better place, right? To change the world, to help achieve the financial inclusion, right? So just that's, and my last sentence is, in the entire world right now, more than 50% are unbanked, underserved. They cannot make dream, right? They cannot make dream because they don't have a chance. So we have a mission to help them to make dream. As long as they just need to have a computer and the internet, that's it. Thank you.